share our thoughts and more about Forbes. And folks who aren't here, especially Forbes' family in Scotland, you're here with us in spirit, and we love you, and we're so sorry for your loss. I knew Forbes for some 35 years. He was, man, this is gonna be hard. He was my brother-in-law, my brother. He was my friend, and I miss him. And boy, it's hard to not have him here. It's hard not to see that gigantic Scotsman just sitting out there with a drink in hand, laughing and just enjoying everyone's company. I guess I'll say that our families were, very, very fortunate to have extremely close ties over the course of decades. Geographically, we lived close to each other in Chicago and then in the suburbs for many, many years. Our, two respective oldest children were the same age and grew up together, cousins, but they're also, brothers and sisters, and our younger boys just folded right into that, and they've gotten along so nicely, and my folks, and being so close, and socially we just did so much together. We saw each other so often. We shared so many great vacations and visits and holidays and special occasions, all of which Forbes was just such a gigantic part, literally and metaphorically. So I want to spend my time talking about, Forbes as the person that I knew. I know we all have our own thoughts and emotions and recollections of our times with him and how we felt about him and the things we shared with him. But I wanted to just say a few things about him as a man and a person. And in speaking to many of you, the last couple of days, and I think we'll hear a lot of themes echo tonight. But I think fundamentally we all know this. Forbes was just a good person. He was just a good guy. He was kind and caring and warm, generous to a fault, fun-loving, loving in general, convivial. Who among us hasn't shared Forbes' hospitality and just been at ease in his presence? He was easy to be with. He was easy to talk to. He had just a great facility for making and keeping friends. And look at everyone here. And he really enjoyed people. He loved talking to people. I just remember being out with him, on occasions. We were at Cape Cod Canal, not too, a few months before he got sick, and there were a gentleman and his wife down there, and he just started up a conversation with them. And I don't know, I guess I'm not like, I would never do that. But he did, and it was always something to see. He just had an ease with people. He was at ease with himself. I'm going to go over and grab my phone because I don't want to forget anything that I wanted to say. Forbes was a funny son of a bitch. He really was.
That was in your phone?
He had a great way. Well, it was bastard, actually. Whether it was, impersonating old British hens from a Monty Python skit, or just singing us a few verses of kind of a naughty Scottish ditty every now and then. None of which I can repeat here, or as Lindsay said, his epic poems, his odes on special occasions and holidays, which just cracked us up. Forbes was a bit outrageous. I'm sure you know that. He liked to stir things up. He enjoyed kind of being naughty. And I think he was.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that.
Another thing I'll say is that Forbes was just like an exceptionally hard worker. In fact, my dad, a couple nights ago, we were together, and he made a point of saying that. He and Pam and Forbes were in business together some years back, and Dad said that Forbes was the hardest worker he'd ever seen in his business career. And not just hard, but extremely productive. Forbes was always doing something, always getting something done, always busy. I'll say also that a lot of the times he was busy doing something that helped or benefited somebody else.
Right.
He really liked to help people, whether it was a family member, a neighbor, or a friend. He was just that kind of a man. It was a bit of a joke in our family that Ford just couldn't sit still. He just was one of those people who could not sit still. He could never seem to sit back and relax, except during what he used to call the best part of the day, otherwise known as the cocktail hour. And I think it's just so fitting that we're here at the cocktail hour.
Absolutely.
Celebrating.
Yeah.
He would have loved this, and I think he's probably here right now. I did want to. I know this is a celebration, but I did want to say that no one knows what tomorrow is going to bring for us, what cards we're going to be dealt, and Forbes dealt a real shitty hand at the end. But I'll also say that he played that hand as well as anyone could hope to, as well as anyone could ever hope to. True to his nature, he bore his illness stoically and bravely, with a lot of dignity and strength, and a little bit of humor too. Oddly enough, even in those last darkest moments, in his last hours when we were with him, he managed to make us laugh a few times. It was really something. Kind of inside baseball. I won't say what it was, but it was great to just have him reach out and do something that lightened the mood. And I think it's also important to say, I think I owe it to him to say that when he passed, he did it. He passed, peacefully and calmly, surrounded by loved ones. And I really want to acknowledge Lindsay and Maxwell, and Pam obviously, but especially the kids, the devotion and attention they just bestowed on him. It was remarkable. They wouldn't leave his side. And I think it was a blessing for him and for them. And you guys really need to be applauded. It was awesome.
Here, here.
So, yeah, I've been up here too long, but I just want to finish by saying that I think one of the hallmarks of a good life, of a life well lived, is the example someone sets and leaves for other people, particularly children, nieces and nephews, the younger generations, but really everyone whose life that person happens to touch. And I just wanted to share some of the things that Forbes exemplified for me. So just kind of a little litany. I hope you'll indulge me, but I think some of this, or hopefully a lot of it, will resonate with you. Love your family. Love your pets. And I know that might sound silly, but that was huge for Forbes. He loved his pets. And he loved his family.
The pets were family, let's face it.
Have fun, have friends, care about people, be warm, generous, and kind. Help people whenever you can and however you can. Have opinions, have strong opinions. Don't be afraid to speak your mind, because Forbes never was. Work hard at what you do, and he did that. Be diligent and responsible. Take your obligations seriously, get your work done. Don't take yourself too seriously, but always meet life head on. Travel. Lindsay talked about it. Forbes was a man of the world, literally. I mean, he spent his life traveling and he loved it. And try to find humor in what each day brings you, whether it's good or ill. But most of all, enjoy life, because I know Forbes really enjoyed living his. So, if you have a glass, I hope you'll raise it and join me. And a toast to a good man and a really lovely soul, to Forbes.
To Forbes.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Well done, Eric.
It's beautiful.